My mic not on? Oh, it is. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I just noticed chat is not out here. So, doing this game review, a bit later than usually. Normally I do it after the game, but didn't feel like it, to be honest. Well, I had a Bruges game at the same time, and then I had to go as well. And it was a bit busy, so I was like, we'll do it the day after. And listen, the performance, because we'll get there when we get there, but the performance was shit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That was a woeful performance. But we won. Listen, winning games when you're bad is exactly the thing we were not doing last season. Last season, we were only winning the games where we were good. Now we're winning the games where we are good, which we didn't always do last season. And we're winning the games where we are bad, which is a minor improvement. There's issues, and again, I'll get to that, but it's a win right before the international break. I'm not angry. Yeah, we played shit, but I'm not angry. Because after the international break, Sherky will be back. For starters, that's a big boost. Gusenov will probably be back after the international break. So there you go, that is 2 starters who will come back from injury when international break is done. 2 starters. I'm going to guess that Kovacic will be back after the international break, and Kova is not a great player, but he's an option, so I think he can give something in games, like when you're struggling to hold on to the ball or to play out from the back. Kovacic is a type of player who I think gets you up the pitch. He just gets the ball, gets you up the pitch. If you're just stuck in your own half, I think Kovacic gives you some chance. So, injuries are no excuse, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, we won the game, so we don't need excuses. Because you only need excuses when you lose. We don't need excuses, we won. So yeah, was performance shit? Yeah, but we do not care. We do not care, isn't it? So with that, big up to Rosa, big up to Wim as well in the building. Hello. Get in, Union. There we go. Carlos Forbes, my guy. Man City Academy player. Carlos Forbes. Actually, best friend of Rico Lewis, isn't he? I had say to Michael about you say Ajax stinker and hooked. Stinker and hooked, isn't it? I mean Forbes. Obviously Forbes. Russell Martin, next Man United coach. Here we come, guys. Get him to United. But obviously it's Forbes. He won us the game. I mean, everyone was shit, but Forbes scored the goal, so... And it was a very good goal. This scoreboard is Club Brugge, so I'm gonna just banish that. Because I'm too lazy to fix it. If you're ever wondering why half the things on my channel are the way they are, just assume I was too lazy to do it in a different, maybe more optimal or maybe more suitable manner. A lot of people think I take this channel seriously. Bruv, I just rush my way to click on stream and that's it. Anyhow, we'll start with the goalkeeper. He didn't have a lot to do, but the one chance he conceded, he came out, got to the ball, made a good save. I do think Igor Thiago, is a player who usually scores those chances. I mean, I don't think it, I know it. I've seen Igor Thiago for 60 odd games. He doesn't normally miss those chances. Even with a good goalkeeper, I mean, he shot it straight into Donnarumma, which is a bit questionable. But hey, maybe it's the nerves, maybe it's this or that, I don't know. But Igor Thiago flunked his chance. Donnarumma still came out and forced him to make that mistake. And Donnarumma got a few balls out of the air. I think, yeah, 3. He made 3 claims. He punched the ball away. Like, there you go. That's what you want this goalkeeper to do. Get the ball out of the air, punch it away if you can't get there. And that's what he does. That is just such a solid goalkeeper at the back. You just don't concede goals quickly with this guy. You don't concede big chances to concede goals because Donnarumma will not even allow there to be a chance. So I love this guy. Absolutely love this goalkeeper. Club next, which is like Barcelona B for Club Brugge. Sacked the manager. Big up to Mob. Big up. Top of the league. Top of the league, guys. Well, we know it does not tend to last long, not the games. We know it does not tend to last long for Arsenal. Actually, sometimes it does last long, it just doesn't last till the end, which is the important part. The top of the league. Christmas champions. Loading again. Big up, Mob. Big up. By the way, we are only 3 points away. Yeah, we're only 3 points away, you know. Arsenal has some easy games coming up, I believe. Who is Arsenal playing in the next few games? Let's see here. Matches. Fulham. Fulham, you should win. Crystal Palace or Derby, but you should realistically win that. Burnley, yeah, you'll win that. Sunderland at home is difficult. Sorry, Sunderland away is difficult. When you're playing Sunderland at home, you probably win that, to be honest. Bayern München, I mean, Chelsea. When's the last time Chelsea won a derby against Arsenal? I don't really remember, to be honest. Brentford should beat Aston Villa. It's mad sus. Then Wolves should probably beat Everton away. That can be difficult, but you'll probably win that. So until Brighton, I don't really see a difficult game here for Arsenal, to be honest. I mean, you'll drop points somewhere. Everyone always drops points eventually, but the next few games, I actually can't see any points lost. But you know what that means? That means all the tough games come right after each other. Bournemouth away, always tough. Liverpool, it's Liverpool. Nottingham Forest won't have Ange by then, I assume. Leeds away shall be manageable. Tottenham, Chelsea, Brighton away. Yeah, when you've got a lot of easy games, the tough games tend to follow up later, don't they? Man City, Newcastle, back-to-back. Yeah, that is not a... It's a favorable fixture list coming up, but it does catch up, of course. Anyhow. That's ridiculous, though, because... Guardiola will make mistakes, but he's usually good. Nunez will do good things, but he's usually poor. Liverpool are mad sus. Arsenal are Arsenal. Chelsea are overrated as fuck. Yeah, I agree with the latter end. Guardiola, what is ridiculous. I don't get what is ridiculous. That is ridiculous, though, because Guardiola will make mistakes. Anyone will. But he's usually good. Nunez will do good things, but he's usually... What did I say? I'm not quite sure what you mean there, Rosa. There's no way we might scam a league title. And never mind. Okay, I will never mind. We might scam a league title. We might not. We might. I might win the lottery tonight. I mean, I can't win the lottery. I didn't buy a ticket. But if I bought a ticket, I might win the lottery tonight. But like, ifs, buts, and maybes, right? Realistically, are we winning the league title? Probably not. I know Liverpool are looking sus, but they'll click into gear. And once they click into gear, they'll be off. Arsenal are still better than us, I think. Even if, yeah, Arsenal are Arsenal. They won't win a league title. They're allergic to that, but they're still better than us. So, I don't know. Anyhow, let's get into the back four. Donnarumma, I'll give an 8. I think an 8 is fair for the big Don. O'Reilly. Listen. I know people like O'Reilly. I like O'Reilly. I think he's a very good backup option as a left back. And I think he's a very good backup as a midfielder. O'Reilly will always find game time. He can play left back, he can play 6, he can play 8, and he can play 10. O'Reilly will always play. The question is, where will he play? He won't always start, but he'll always play a lot of minutes because you can put him anywhere. But he is not better than Ait Nouri. Because I see a lot of people say he's better than Ait Nouri. I'm really not sure based on what, to be honest, but I don't think O'Reilly played terribly. Just think he was absent from this game. And a lot of players were absent, don't get me wrong. But I think O'Reilly, even when Rodri was on the pitch, he wasn't doing anything, was he? I mean, he was positioning himself in the right way and he was getting into the correct places. But that's a very low bar to set. I can't remember any defending he did. Let me just quickly check here. Let me see the statistics. Because I generally cannot remember him doing any defending. He apparently created 2 chances. Can't remember that, to be honest. This is why I usually do the game reviews right after the game. Because when it's been a day, I tend to forget stuff. But yeah. Okay, he got the ball for us a few times. But that is mostly first half. I feel like in the second half especially, he was just nowhere to be seen. 1 half is ground duels, that's not great. Aerial duels is to be expected because he's up against Thiago. And Thiago is gonna win those aerial duels. But I don't know, I feel like he just didn't do much on the pitch. And listen, it's fine. I like O'Reilly. But this is just one of the games that I think, come on mate, you can do better. And he's a young player, you're gonna get that. But this is why I don't want O'Reilly to be a permanent left back option. It's not his position, for starters. Ait Nouri is better. Ait Nouri would have gotten involved more in this game, I think. I feel like when O'Reilly isn't involved by his teammates, he doesn't get involved into the game. Ait Nouri can involve himself, if you know what I mean. So that's why I think Ait Nouri is better. So just to say, that the people saying Ait Nouri is worse than O'Reilly at left back doesn't really make sense. But he's a solid backup option. He didn't make any mistake. Here's the thing, yeah. I differentiate between ghosting and dropping a stinker. When you're ghosting, you just don't have an impact on the game. When you're dropping a stinker, you are actively bad on your team. Like, you make a big balls mistake, for example. That's a stinker. You make a big balls mistake. He does not do that. He's got very much so wisdom beyond his years. But he ghosts a lot of games, I feel like. Listen, wasn't an important game for him. I feel like when we were attacking, we really lacked width. And isn't that O'Reilly's job? To provide that width? Unless Pep Guardiola was thinking something else. But I think that's O'Reilly's job. To provide that width when we go forwards. To stretch the pitch a bit. To create some space. And I feel like he wasn't doing that. I feel like he just wasn't doing anything when he had the ball. A lot of sideways passes. So, less of the game by O'Reilly. But otherwise, a brilliant player. I'll give him a 6.5, to be honest. I'll be a bit harsh, but... How is Josko man of the match? I just noticed that. Josko is apparently man of the match. How? Nah. Okay, I'll say why I disagree with this. Josko played a good game, overall. But he made one big mistake. And that was the ball, he had it backwards or whatever the fuck he tried to do with it. And he just gave it on a platter to Igor Thiago. Igor Thiago was licking his lips. He was doing all that stuff. Through one goal. Josko should be more wise. No offense, Josko should be a lot more wise even. That was poor. That was really poor. So he plays a good game, but that could have conceded us a goal. And listen, a lot of people say one mistake does not define your game. But it can. It can. A big mistake, a blunder, can define your game. If you go to a chess game, if any of you have ever played over the board chess, yeah? You're sitting there, you have 1 hour of time, your opponent has 1 hour of time. Excuse me. You have 1 hour of time, I have 1 hour of time. We get to think, we get to make our moves. Now I can be absolutely crushing you. One big blunder, and you checkmate me and game is done. I can have 20 points of material more than you. One blunder, and I get checkmated. Game is done. One blunder can define your game. And that was a blunder. And it's not the first time he's done that, which is why it pisses me off. He did it against Feyenoord. He did it in another game as well. He did it in the FA Cup final against Man United, but another game as well. Was it Spurs? No, it wasn't. Oh, he did this in another game. He's done this in 3 games in the past, so I can't remember the third. But he's done this in at least 3 games in the past. Stop heading the ball backwards to strikers. Josko. One blunder can define your game. When it's 1-0, you can be the best player on the pitch. But you had that ball into the path of Igor Thiago. On a different day, Thiago goes down and scores. And what do we say then? Oh, he played the best game? No, he gave Thiago a free chance to go down 1-on-1 and score. That was poor. It's not the first time he's done it. It probably won't be the last time he does it. He needs to fix up on that regard. He needs to massively fix up on that regard. It's really poor. It really is poor from Josko, to be honest. I'm giving him a 7 because he did play a good game. But he needs to stop making those blunders. He needs to stop doing that. This is the 4th time in a City shirt. He's been here 2 years. This is the 4th time in a City shirt he's done that. The exact same face. Ball over the top, he heads it backwards into the path of an opposition striker. 4 times in 2 seasons. Like, come on, Josko. And it's even more frustrating because he is our best centre back. So when he is your best centre back, it's like, what are we doing here? Why is our best centre back, a world-class centre back by any means, constantly giving the ball away to opposition players? It's very annoying. Nico O'Reilly to England. Here we go. Yes, sir. Prediction. Well, that's a dead fucking game. Belgium to win. Glory FC or Haram FC. We'll get back to that. Prediction, Man City next game. 3-0 against Everton, probably. Bit early for the predictions, though. I'm still reviewing this game. Ruben Diaz. Didn't have much to do. I feel like the moments he did have something to do, he did it well. Like a few scrappy balls that were lost in the box that he just cleared away and stuff like that. He did that well. So I'm going to give him like a blanket 7.5. I don't feel like he had that much to do. Nunez. Mateus Nunez. Always a fun player to talk about. Because if you praise him, you piss off half the fan base. If you criticize him, you piss off the other half of the fan base. And if you give him some criticism and some praise, you piss off the entire fan base. Lovely player to talk about, Mateus Nunez. He didn't play particularly bad, but here's the thing. Here's what I think people just don't understand when we talk about players like Mateus Nunez. When we talk about players at Man City. The level at Man City is not, did you make a mistake? The level at Man City is, was you world class? Let me give you an example. Erling Haaland scores 9 goals, Premier League goals, in 7 games, I believe. Man City fans at the start of the season were criticizing that same Haaland because he only scored once against Brighton. He didn't score against Spurs. And he only scored twice against Wolves. That is the level at Man City. That is what for Erling Haaland gets criticized. Yes? Not you were poor, but you were not utterly, absolutely world class. The standard at Man City is not, you made no mistakes so I won't criticize you. The standard at Man City is, you did not raise the level, you're not good enough. That is Mateus Nunez for me. He makes balls of mistakes. He didn't do it this game, fortunately. But he just doesn't. Even in the games, he does not make a balls mistake. It's not present. It's really not present, I feel. Like, think of this, yeah? Chance with Igor Thiago. Kusanov would have sprinted from right back down the middle, stopped Igor Thiago from going through on goal. Oh well, that's not fair. That is impossible high standards to put on players. Sure, but we have players who can do that. So I'm looking at Nunez. You can't do what our other players can do. And this is one of his better games. Listen, he played okay. I'd give him a 7.5 for this game. But here's the thing. If your better games are 7.5, that's a bit worrying. He's not outright. He should not be outright back. And to those us comments, because we'll go into midfield in just a moment. If we had Kusanov, we would have had more solidity in the back. That is not Nunez's fault. It's just Kusanov is better. A real right back, should we ever get one, is gonna be better. Is that Nunez's fault? No. But that is the reality. So many people are like, well, it's not Nunez's fault. Sure, it's not Nunez's fault. But the world is not fair. Listen, it's not my fault. I was born as a normal person and not as a multi-billionaire son. If I was born as the son of a multi-billionaire, I'd be rich, I'd be smoking at Epstein Island, bruv. Pause. That's a joke. Please don't cancel me. The world is not fair. The truth is, we need a Rolls Royce. Kusanov is not a Rolls Royce. And I'll get into our midfield in a second, but it was really lethargic. Grealish doesn't get to play though. Man City, I wanna be Real Madrid. I'm better Real Madrid than Real Madrid though, because they've never done a treble. Who was criticizing Haaland? I was on a show on Patrick's channel, True City Fan TV. And this guy was adamant that we should be playing a false 9 instead of Erling Haaland. But, by the way, Erling Haaland has scored 77% of Man City's goals. And this guy was adamant that we should play false 9 instead of Haaland. Sorry? Yeah. Welcome to Man City fanbase. That's a bad joke. We will let it slide. I live to see another day, guys. I live to see another day. Right then. Midfield. Rodri. It's actually sad, guys. And I don't want to be negative constantly. But it's actually sad how emotionally dependent we are on this guy. Listen, I'm just gonna repeat. I'm happy we won. My god, some of these players are pussies. Foden, pussy. I'm sorry to say it, yeah? Foden, you are one of the best players in the world. There's not a single player in the Premier League who has Foden's technical ability. So why do you act like a pussy? I don't get it. He's so scared. Grow up, bear. You should have the ego of Ibrahimovic. But he's a fucking pussy. The moment Rodri comes off, his emotional support dog looks like a shell of him. He needs that emotional support dog throughout the entirety of the game to remind him, you are that guy, or otherwise, he sinks into a shell. Tijani. I don't think he was particularly good at any point. At least when Rodri was on the pitch, Tijani was attempting a few balls forwards. I know he gave one good pass to Bob when Rodri came off. But that's once. In the 20 minutes with Rodri on the pitch, he made more forward passes than he did when Rodri came off. And he played like... How long did he play when Rodri came off? He played until the 76th minute. So he played 50 odd minutes with Rodri, not on the pitch. In those 50 minutes, he made less forward passes than the 20 minutes with Rodri on the pitch. Listen, I get it. Rodri is world class. Rodri is insane. But why do we have midfielders who are emotionally dependent on Rodri playing? Foden. Honest to God. You got like 40 GA. Did you get 30, 40 GA? I can't remember. You got an insane amount of GA. You were the guy in 4-beat seat. Why do you act like a sissy, man? Grow up, bed. You are him. But nah, Rodri comes off and he's scared. He retreats. Why? You are him. So this guy must have the most insane anxiety because he just does not realize how good he is. The moment Rodri is off the pitch, he stops doing all the quick passes, the dribbling. That, I mean, he doesn't dribble that much when he's in midfield, but he stops doing that. He moves the ball backwards more than forwards when Rodri comes off. Tijani, again, I've talked about Tijani. I'm tired of talking about Tijani. But it's not good. It's really not good. I hope Rodri's injury is not very bad. It looks like a hamstring injury, which is normal. When you pick up an ACL injury, you will get injuries to your surrounding muscles once you come back. So your quads, your hamstring, all of that. You might expect a lot of small muscle injuries coming up for Rodri. I mean, that's normal when you get an ACL. I just hope it's not a big deal. Because just the emotional element that is attached to Rodri playing is seemingly very important. FIFA generation. I'm not sure what you mean with that. Breaking news. Raja Nainggolan is going to be on the Slimste Mens. That's a game show. Well, not really a game show. It's like a show in Flanders. I don't watch it, to be honest. It's quite boring. To be honest, yeah. To be honest, because the slam cements, if you want to know what this means, this literally translates to the smartest person. Smartest human, I guess, but the smartest person. Literally, how you translate it. Such a boring show, it really is. Anyhow, every old person watches it. Every old person in Flanders watches this, and it's so boring. Grandma, nobody cares about the fucking geography questions. Put on something else, bruv. Like, oh my days. People think what works in FIFA works in real life. I agree to some degree. And FIFAcation of football fans. People are shit if they don't act the same way as they do on FIFA. I agree. I think a lot of people... Like, I think people do the opposite as well. Where if someone is good on FIFA, they're a good player in their mind. Take, for example, Nico Williams. Runs fast, scores a goal once in a while. But on FIFA, runs fast, scores a lot of goals. So, he's great. But I feel like a lot of people just don't quite get the difference between real football and FIFA. It's actually quite sad. I mean... a lot of people don't watch football, to be honest. A lot of people just do not watch football nowadays. Like, I get a lot of people saying right now, Harry Kane, best striker in the world. We'll talk about the best striker in the world in just a second, but Harry Kane, best striker in the world. By what metric? By his 4 penalty goals in 6 games? Think about that. Harry Kane is averaging a penalty every not even second game. Every 1.5 game. He's averaging a penalty every 1.5 game. That is not normal. That is not normal. 2/3 of his games, he's getting a penalty. Listen, I understand penalties are just goals and you have to score them. But when 27% of your goals are penalties, that's something else. That is something else. Haaland, 16% of Haaland's goals are penalties. As opposed to 27% of Harry Kane. I'd say like 10 to 20% is, I guess, expected, reasonable. But 27%? How do you get that many penalties? Like, it's actually mind-boggling. How do you get that many penalties? Because most of them just happen when Olise is in the box, Harry Kane is fuck all nowhere, and Olise gets fouled. But then Kane gets to take the penalty, and it's halas, he scored another goal. Anyhow. I've pulled up some statistics on Harry Kane and Haaland. So, if we're gonna compare them in the Premier League, Haaland 0.9 goals per game. Kane 0.65 goals per game. Haaland averages 0.25 goals more per game in the Premier League. I'm just saying, averages 0.25 more goals per game in the Premier League. By the way, complete striker Erling Haaland averages 0.02 assists more per game in the Premier League. Harry Kane 0.15, Haaland 0.17. But We're talking about the absolute complete striker that is Harry Kane. So, how is that different exactly in the Bundesliga? In the Bundesliga, Haaland averages 0.93 goals per game, average, should I say. Whereas Kane, 1.06. Now, Haaland played in the Bundesliga with an aging Witsel, an aging Royce, an aging Meunier, and a teenage Bellingham. Haaland played with a dysfunctional Man City team last season. Kane played with Heung-min Son in his prime, played with one of the best defenses, I'll caveat that, the best defense in the Premier League at the time, with Alderweireld, Vertonghen, I mean that's just a dream centre-back partnership right there, and what's his name, Lloris in goal. Best defense in the league. Heung-min Son in his prime. Harry Kane played with very good players when he was at Tottenham. Did Haaland play with De Bruyne and with Rodri and with better players? Yes. But that difference is remarkably smaller than the difference between the quality with which Kane plays at Bayern München compared to what Haaland got to play with at Dortmund. By the way, Haaland won a trophy with Dortmund. Haaland won multiple trophies with City, including the treble. Kane did fuck all at Tottenham. Kane is actually the reason why Tottenham didn't win a Champions League final. It's a bottle job. Kane is the reason why his country did not play a World Cup final. It's a bottle job. Kane is the reason for so many failures in his own career. Whereas Haaland fought the FA Cup final in 2025, so this year, against Crystal Palace, has not been the reason for any of Man City's failings or Dortmund. So we're talking about this world-class best striker in the world, who is barely putting up better numbers than Haaland in the Bundesliga, with a much better side. I mean, it's ridiculous. And now we look at the Premier League, Haaland's numbers are way better. Way better. And he's doing it with a side who is superior at times, the treble season, the four-beat season. And other times, last season, start of this season, has been absolutely dysfunctional. But Kane is the best striker because he gets 27 penalties in 2 seasons. Right. I still don't get it. How do you get 27 penalties in 2 seasons? Can someone do the maths on that? 27 penalties in 2 seasons. That is 2 and 7. In 2 seasons. What's the math on that, guys? I don't think Man City has gotten that many penalties in 4 seasons. Anyhow, sorry, fuck Harry Kane. We're talking about Man City here. In a way, though, people who talk about football should be good at football. Fan channels should put up them playing FIFA or the betting logs. What? Well, I don't agree with this. You don't have to be good at football. I mean, I played football, but I wasn't professional, so I wasn't good, I guess. But I don't think you have to be good at football to talk about it. But you just have to actually play it at least a few times, I think, to really have an opinion on it, I think. If you've never touched a pitch, I really don't care about your opinion, to put it bluntly. Fan channels should put up them FIFA or betting logs. No. Imagine if you have to be Division 1 FIFA player to talk about football. Standards will be raised. You never worked on fitness seriously. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I never did. I don't get points. You don't have to be a good striker to... Well, I was a striker, but you don't have to be a good player to talk about football. But just think, if you've never touched a pitch, not even once, and you're bad-mouthing everyone, I think it's like, what are we doing here? Anyhow, moving on. Fuck midfield. We've talked about midfield. No more trauma dumping. Pop. Oh, by the way, I should go back to Guardiola, actually. I did give him a lot of slander. He did give a brilliant assist to Haaland. The reason I bring that up is because neither Bob nor Savio did any of that. Bob, Savio, I mean, listen, you get those explosive wingers, yeah, and you think, oh, I'm gonna see something. I need to add the owl SFX. Yeah, you know the sound effects that they use in the movies of like the owl? I need to add that. Like the ooh, 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 ooh. That is a terrible owl sound, but they did fuck all. Bob, in the first 30 minutes, was weaving through people and trying to create chances, and he was trying. Savio? What were you even doing on that pitch? I'm actually surprised that Savio was not taken off for Doku after like 45 minutes. I'm surprised even more that Bob was taken off instead of Savio. Listen, I don't hate Savinho. I don't dislike Savinho even. But here's the thing, yeah? We have too many inexperienced wingers. We're like saying, give them time. And sure, I don't mind to give time to players. But there needs to be the adequate, ready-made players in place first. And what do I mean by that? You have O'Reilly and you have Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri, ready-made. O'Reilly needs a bit of time. That's fine. But Aït-Nouri in that left back spot. For centre back, you've got Gvardiol and Diaz as the ready-made products. You can throw in Gusenov and even Ba or Vitor Hayes, whoever you prefer, as their backups. Because you've got two ready-made players and two give them time players there. And you still have Stones at the moment, so that's not a ready-made player when he isn't injured. And I'd even argue Gusenov is ready-made at this point. Right back. Moving on. Rodri. In the 6. Ready-made. Gonzalez. He's on the... We'll talk about Gonzalez in a bit, but I think he's okay sometimes. And you've got... what's his name? Kovacic as well. Can cover that role. So we've got a ready-made player, a decent backup, and a player who needs time. So that's fine. Attacking midfield. Foden should be ready-made. Sometimes it's, sometimes it's not. I really should do an entire stream on that topic, to be honest. Tijani should theoretically be ready-made, but isn't always. As we can sometimes clearly tell, Tijani is not the player who needs time. I guess that proves the point I'm about to make. Tijani is not the player who needs time to adapt to the league and to the system. And then you have Bob. Needs time. Savio needs time. Doku needs time. Cherki needs time because he's still adapting to the league. Listen. That is all well and fine. If it is just one or two of them. We have 4, including Cherki for dramatic effect. We have 3 wingers who are our only real wingers who need time. All of them need time. I don't mind having a Savio or a Bob if we have a Maris. But every Bob, you have a Maris, right? The finished product and the guy who's gonna take his place when the finished product is finished. If you know what I mean. That's not what's happening. That is not what's happening. You've got your Bob running around and nothing better. You've got Savio instead. I wanted Savio to leave, not because Savio is the problem, but because we have too many of these young players and Savio was gonna fetch a big price. If we sold Savio and bought Akliushi, that would have been a waste of time. Because Akliushi would need time. We should have sold him, in my opinion, and gotten a winger. It's ready-made right now. Jared Bowen. Oh, Jared Bowen will be done in 2 or 3 years. Sure. But in 2 or 3 years, Bob will be ready-made. So, then you can fuck off Bowen. And you can go get your new hot stuff. You can get your new young player for the future. But make sure you have that ready-made player next to them. We don't have that. We have 3 young wingers and no ready-made players. We have a midfielder who still needs to adapt to the Premier League and a midfielder who's struggling with anxiety or whatever it is. And we don't have the ready-made product in those positions. We have a 6 who's ready-made. Fine, but he's just coming back from injury. But okay, we have a solid backup kind of with Kovacic. And we have Gonzalez. Needs time, but it's fine. That position is fine in my opinion. But it's too many. It's too many players at the same time who needs time. That's my problem. It's not one player. It's not any one player. It's a combination of all of them at the same time. How can you say a player is shit if you can barely run a mile though? Not you, but some fans. If you can't run a mile, I think you're fucked, to be honest. I don't think there's anyone who can't run a mile, unless you're fucking disabled or something. Mile is not a lot. That's like 1.2 kilometers, right? How much is a mile in kilometers? 1.6 kilometers. If you can't run 3 kilometers, you're fucked, aren't you? I mean, that's not a lot. But I get your point. I get your point. City are doomed if Foden is the main creator. Take up the deal. That's why Haaland only scored 1 goal. Selling Cole Palmer was stupid. I disagree. Cole Palmer is... Again, another player needs time. Cole Palmer would have needed time. The mistake was not selling Cole Palmer. It was letting go of Mahrez and replacing him with someone who needed time. Listen. When you have a lot of players who need time, you need to buy time. You need to have time. You know what I mean with that? If Mahrez could play another 3 years, he can't, but I'm taking a theoretical. If Mahrez could play another 3 years at top level, that means you have 3 years of time for a young player to get to the Premier League and get into the shape of the Premier League. We don't have that player right now, whether it be Jared Bowen, whether it be Semenyo. That's a bit desperate, but hey, there we go. Whether it be Anthony Gordon even, whether it be Kudus, I would have loved Kudus. Whichever one of those players it is, we don't have that player who is ready-made used to the Premier League at the moment, who could buy time for our younger players, who need time. We have no playmaker on this team and we desperately need one for Haaland. I agree with that much. Marmoush didn't need time, I agree. Because you buy an experienced player like Marmoush, he's gonna hit the ground running. International break coming at the right time. Everyone will be back soon. Yeah, that's the thing though. Rodri might be back after the international break as well, which will be nice. But Gustinov comes back after the international break. So Gustinov comes back, Shetki comes back after this international break. So we've got players coming back. So good stuff, isn't it? Good stuff. I just say so. Because Man City has this thing, we do this thing, yeah, where the players come back and we immediately rush them back into starting 11, and then they get injured again. Do we need Sherky and Rodri to start against Everton without Jack Grealish, because Jack Grealish is not allowed to play against us? I don't think we do need them. I don't think we do need them to play. So I'd just play neither of them. Just be like, yep, you're back. Or not start them. You can play them off the bench, but not start them. Yep, you're back, you're on the bench. If we need you, we'll resort to you. But we don't immediately need you. But yeah, we should be able to win these games more convincingly, though, without a bench. I think that's the thing. I know if our entire starting 11 is fit, Nuri, Rodri, Foden most of the time, Cherky, I know we're gonna ball. The problem is when they're not fit. It's very quickly a mess. If Haaland gets injured, City are fucked. Nobody on this team can score a goal apart from Haaland. Marmoush can. And Marmoush will be back soon as well. When is Marmoush back? Marmoush. Or Man City injuries is what I need, actually. Man City injuries. Marmoush will be back. Oh, he's back from injury already. Okay, today's by the way, big Rodri news. Big Rodri news. He will be out until the 26th, when it starts. Let's see the Man City fixtures list. 26th. That's correct, right? Yeah, 26th. So Rodri will miss the game against Everton, against Villarreal, and most likely against Aston Villa. He will be back for Swansea, but he won't need to play that. So he will probably be back for Bournemouth. So he'll miss 2 Premier League games and 1 Champions League game. And he could play against Swansea, but he really shouldn't. So there you go. But other than that, the rest of our squad, bar Rodri, will be back against Everton. Yeah. So our entire squad, bar Rodri, will be fit against Everton. Which means Omar Marmoush is fit. Aït-Nouri is fit. So, I mean, how do you do that now, though? Because you don't want to switch system. You really don't. I'd just play Aït-Nouri left back. Well, I wouldn't start him, actually. It depends on fitness, of course, but I'll do O'Reilly maybe left back, and then Marmoush left wing, because I mean, he presses a lot as well. And Tel sits back a bit, so maybe that's a game where we need Doku. Not an Everton preview, fuck Everton. Haaland. We've talked about the wingers, fuck them. Haaland. Listen. If you don't rate Haaland, you're stupid. There's no 2 ways to put it. There really isn't. 9 Premier League goals in 7 games. if he scores against Everton just once, if he scores just one goal against Everton, he will go to 10 goals in 8 games. You multiply 8 by 4, that is 32. 32 is the average amount of games Haaland plays in a Premier League season. 32 games. You multiply 10 by 4. That is the trajectory Erling Haaland is on for the amount of goals to score at the moment. 40 goals. Am I saying he will score 40 goals? No. He'll probably get like 30, let's say 32. That used to be the record. Before Haaland's game, 32 goals was the record. What is the last time someone other than Haaland scored 30 goals in the Premier League? I genuinely don't know. Premier League top scorers. English First Division top scorers. There we go. By season. Right then. Salah, 29 goals. Haaland, 27. Haaland, 36. And the treble season. Before Haaland arrived in the Premier League. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seasons before Haaland arrived in the Premier League. Since the last time someone scored 30 goals, that was Mo Salah. With his 32 goals. Before that was another 4 seasons. 4 seasons in between. And that was Luis Suarez. Before Luis Suarez, it was 1 season, in between, Robin van Persie scored 30 in 2012. So 2 seasons. Before Van Persie, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons again. Which was Cristiano Ronaldo's 31. Before Ronaldo's 31, it was again 4 seasons. So we are averaging 4 seasons in between here. It was 4 seasons again between that when Kevin Phillips scored 30 for Sunderland. And then before Kevin Phillips was... Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5... 6 seasons. So in other words, the last time that a single player scored 30 goals twice in a Premier League season is Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer. 1996. Which, by the way, back then they played more games. In 1996 they played 42 games, I believe. No, that was 38 games. 1996 they swapped to a 38 game season. In 1995 it was 42 games. Yeah. So Alan Shearer had scored 30 goals already before that, but that was in 42 games. And then he did it again in 38 games. Other than Alan Shearer, nobody actually had a game, but he doesn't count. Fuck him. Do people understand that? Erling Haaland is gonna score 30 plus goals. Unless he gets a big injury. He will score 30 plus goals. That means that Erling Haaland will be the first player scored 30 goals in 2 separate seasons in the Premier League since Alan Shearer. And people don't rate him. What can I say to that? Genuinely, what can I say to that? People don't rate him. Who's better? Who is better? No one. No one is better. Look at the goal he scored this game. Because it is a beauty of a goal. I won't show you the goal, obviously, because I will get my channel copyright struck. But look at the goal he scored. Runs behind the player, the centre back. Then he comes up to the other centre back, and I can't remember who it was. Which one of the two was it? I think it was Van den Berg. It might have been Ayer. I can't remember. It was either Van den Berg or Ayer. So he runs behind Collins, comes up to the other guy. He pushes them before the ball is even played. Puts Van den Berg off balance. Ball is played. Now he pushes again. The ball is gonna come. Now he's through on goal. If he's not through on goal, Van den Berg will be off balance and he can spin him. He's thinking about all of that before the ball is even played. By the way, he walked behind Collins, so Collins would not notice him walking up there. Which is really why you need to check your shoulder if you're a centre back, just saying. But he did that because he knows Collins rarely checks his shoulder. Gets the ball, out muscles, dominates his centre back, and gets a good finish. By the way, first touch, by the way, was also very good. There are genuinely people who do not rate Erling Haaland. Who do not think Erling Haaland is the best striker in the world. I have no words. There's nothing I can do for someone. Yeah, if you don't rate Haaland, you're mentally disabled. No amount of science can... I could bring out... I could fucking go up to heaven. Ask God Almighty who is the best striker in the world. He could tell me Erling Haaland. He could give me the fucking Holy Grail. And I could go down to planet Earth, put the Holy Grail up in the sky and say Erling Haaland is the best striker in the world. God said so unto me when he gave me this grail. And people would still not believe me. He needs... It's the same thing with Gustinov, by the way. Gustinov has been the best centre back in the Premier League this season. And he's played right back, but he's a centre back. He's been the best in the Premier League this season. But pundits will kill themselves before they will speak praise of Gustinov. I do not get it. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I will criticize where criticism is due, and I will praise where praise is due. I've criticized Haaland in the past. I've praised Haaland in the past, as I'm doing right now. Same with Gustinov. Same with every player at Man City and the management staff. It's goddamn frustrating when nobody gives praise to players who actually really deserve it. Gustinov, Haaland, Rodri even. When Rodri won the Ballon d'Or. Or Rodri didn't deserve it. You want Vinicius bang average junior to win it over Rodri. Crazy. Harry Kane is bang average, but he's in a great team. Two can play this game. Erling Haaland is bang average, but he plays for Man City. I mean, two can play this game, can't we? Game is bang average because I said so. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Absolute world-class player, and he is my man of the match. Without Erling Haaland, we would really be in trouble. Luckily, we do have Erling Braut Haaland, so cheers. And I think I'll leave it there. So, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps out of the... Why did I do 3 fingers? Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps out a ton. I guess a third finger is for people who think Haaland is not the best player or the striker in the world. Cheers to that. I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, Haaland rating, by the way. I'll give him a 9. I'll see you guys on the next one. Michael is live. I'll redirect to him. Michael. Give me a moment. I'm setting up a redirect here. There we go. Yep, redirecting to Michael. So, Alfred and chat, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.